Hey everyone, welcome back to Calavera Beach. It's been a long time, but we're back here for an episode where we're finally moving up into the hills and building some houses overlooking the beach, not on the beach. So
let's just jump into it.
Alright guys, finally a new episode of Calavera Beach. Okay, so patrons saw this a couple months ago, but obviously not with this audio. I've explained this a couple times. You can check out, the Columbia City episode. I think episode 1 I explain what's going on with that. Calavera Beach, it's back, guys. It's back on the channel, and I really hope to get it going at least maybe once a month or so. And I say that because I've got 3 series going now, so once a month is, that's sort of a lot. So the plan is right now to just work up in the hills. So this episode here, I did not have the houses made by Licho that I've been talking about for a while that are just going to be absolutely game-changing for me, and now Licho sent them to me. I haven't actually gone in-game to test them, because obviously this episode's recycled. I haven't been in-game to test them, but I want to do that soon. I want to, record another episode of this, because it's going to be amazing. I truly can't wait, but for now, we're using a bunch of the other houses that I've used in the past, which is definitely fine. Not all houses in Laguna Beach are extremely, they don't have they don't all have like 5-story balconies and whatever, which you'll see the houses. They're gonna be great. But okay, cliffsides, which we haven't really worked on yet. Cliffsides we're working on this episode. I'm trying to get the right feel here. So Laguna Beach, it's got cliffsides that are covered really in bushes. A lot of the time, maybe they're just covered in grass. There's sometimes a bunch of trees on the sides of these hills. I'm mostly going for a heavy grass covering with some bushes scattered around. And I end up realizing that the vanilla bush clusters from Park Life are probably my best bet at making this look really lush. It's really hard to get a good balance of lushness and an arid hillside for something like this that's sort of set in California, and because Californian hillsides are just definitely completely unique. It's nothing like, the Northeast where everything's just covered in trees. It's gonna be way different, and working on these hillsides is gonna be a little bit difficult. I'm gonna get better over time. Obviously, we're not gonna detail all the hillsides on the map like this, but I definitely want to do the ones that are near the main part of Calavera Beach for sure. I want to detail them like this because it just makes it look a lot better, let's be honest. But yeah, you guys are gonna love this. It just looks so good now having this here. But since there's so many height differences and you're looking down on the city, or I guess the town, a lot of the time you'll notice how empty the map is. So that's another thing we have to do. We got to do a lot of expansion. But now that we're going to have the new hillside buildings, it's going to be a lot easier. All right, so we're here adding fences around these buildings, which is not necessarily what it's like in, real life. I mean, these walls we're adding, it's a little bit oversimplified. So in Laguna itself, you have these buildings with ridiculous, like 5 stories of, balconies and stuff like that. And those are the types of buildings that Legio made that we're going to be able to start adding in the next episode. But this episode here, I'm sort of working with what I've got, adding fences around the lots and trying to integrate them. So you see I'm adding like all these different gates because obviously this is a good community. It's a good place to live. If you've got the money, which you probably don't, because if you want to buy like a 2-bedroom apartment in Laguna Beach, it costs, I think, $700,000 was like the cheapest one I found when I looked on Zillow for like a 800 square foot 2-bedroom apartment, which is ridiculous. But such is life. That's what you get if you want to live in Laguna Beach, or you could live in a quote unquote manufactured home that actually depreciates, which is the stupidest idea ever, based on what I know at least. Anyway, I mean, who would buy a home that depreciates? Whatever. So this house here is 2 little vanilla villas clipped together, and the solar panels on the roof, or skylights or whatever they are, looked really, I mean, the house itself looked okay, but the solar panels looked really bad. So I ended up like adding ploppable pavement a little bit later just to make them go away, like in the, you'll see. Point is, they don't stay, so don't worry. But I'm just trying to, have some diversity of different types of buildings here. And, different areas will have different themes within Laguna. And actually, talking about Laguna, a couple weekends ago, a friend of mine and I, we walked from Main Beach in Laguna all the way up to Top of the Worlds and across the bike path, which is, I mean, it's probably like 8 miles of walking, but it's also like climbing a mountain. It was on asphalt on the roads, and we did it in flip-flops for some reason. There's a trolley that brings you up there, but whatever. It was good fun. I could barely move for like the next week or something. Whatever. So this house here, okay, this house has got a really nice little pergola here where you can, grab some food, look out over the ocean. Like, imagine that. That's got to be nice. And over here, yeah, see, I'm adding these vanilla bush clusters and different Padelmo bushes. And yeah, I mean, getting the vegetation right is definitely difficult here. I think the most difficult thing is getting the buildings right, and we're going to start doing that in the next episode. I mean, this is an area which I guess you could say is its own sort of unique type of building for the city, but as we move forward, we're going to have these buildings are going to be a lot denser when you talk about the stuff that's up on these cliffs. I really can't wait to get in game and check those out. And I mean, having 3 series is going to be difficult. I'm mostly going to try to give New Windsor a little bit of a break, except I'll probably upload one of the upcoming, because I've got an episode that's out for patrons already, which could go up on the channel, and then that'll be the last episode that's out for patrons already, and we'll be in a normal, Patreon cycle where every new video is new, and we'll be totally done with that transition that I've been talking about. So this is the first out of those 2 videos in that transition, but I don't know, it's complicated. But yeah, also thanks to all the new patrons from the first episode of Columbia City. You are very much appreciated, and all you other patrons. Really does help out a ton. And I mean, yeah, it makes it a lot easier for me to, put a lot of time into these videos and, feel like somebody's really getting value out of this, and, the more time I put in, the more value they're going to get out of it. Because, it's easy to just grind out an episode and be done with it, but I don't know. It's not really worth it if you're already putting all that time into it. Might as well go, the full mile, and to see people really appreciate that is just very, very rewarding. So thank you all so very much, and hopefully you're happy the series is back. For however consistent it's going to be, but it's back to some extent. I don't really have anything to talk about in game, so I guess we'll just talk about stuff that's not in game. Let's just start with the content creator pack. Okay, so King Leno, I think, okay, the content creator pack and the DLC, obviously. The DLC is the big thing. But the content creator pack that King Leno has made is amazing, and I cannot wait to place those residential buildings in, in Calavera Beach probably, but mostly Columbia City once we work out in the suburbs. They're gonna be perfect. Like craftsman style versions of all King Leno's buildings and some newer, like, oh yes, that's gonna be awesome. And even in New Windsor, I think I can implement some of them. That's gonna be great. And then the actual DLC itself. So I've been asked, like, what do you think of the DLC? And I'm actually very excited for it because, listen, we don't have a huge selection of good university buildings in the workshop, and the buildings in the new DLC, I'd say not all of them. Some of them are not like for extremely realistic cities. Like some of the liberal arts school buildings I probably won't use, but the normal university buildings, if you've got, prop it up to remove the vanilla props and trees and stuff, or, vanilla trees remover, it looks like a front page workshop asset, except there are literally, dozens of them. So I honestly, like, the way I played the game, I think of the new DLC as like an extended massive content creator pack. And I thought of, Park Life as more of like a DLC, and, mass transit, obviously, like, you've got a lot of new mechanics and stuff. This, I think of as an enormous content creator pack with a bunch of cool simulation aspects for people who play with the simulation, which I really don't. But like, the new, varsity sports and stuff like that sounds like a lot of fun for people who play with simulation. So obviously the game has to be to a great extent geared towards those people, but I'm, as a detail person, I'm also really happy because that's going to mean I'm going to be able to build a lot more universities in somewhere like Columbia City, and in New Windsor we're going to have another university hopefully. But yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be great, and the King Leno content creator pack is going to be excellent as well. And then a tutorial that I made is out on the City Skylines official YouTube channel for y'all to check out, so definitely do that. But yeah, that's about it. We're coming to the end of this episode of Calavera Beach, which hopefully will not be the last in a long time. We're gonna, keep it rolling here, hopefully. And honestly, I just hope to get this series to a point where I'm so motivated to play the game that I can't, I can't stop. Because Laguna is such an awesome place, and I feel like if I just get the right combination of assets and build style, I'm gonna be super motivated to work on the city. So as we build, that'll come. So yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here, and hit the bell icon. You know the deal. You hit it every single YouTube video. Come on. And honestly, if you don't want to get bothered while you're doing schoolwork, don't hit the bell icon. If you've got nothing better to do than watch my videos, and you really like watching my videos, then hit the bell icon. I'm not going to force you to do anything. What else? Support me on Patreon. That's definitely something you might want to do. $1 a month, you get access to episodes early. It's a really good deal, and I get more coffee. I don't actually buy any more coffee. It just gives me the ability to buy more coffee if I want to without feeling as guilty about it. You can follow me on Twitter for useless Twitter stuff, but honestly, I recommend more than you following me on Twitter, just delete Twitter instead. You can check out my Instagram. I post really awesome screenshots there. I'm like a photography account, but virtual. So check me out over there, both in the description. But yeah, that's about it. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.